Hey guys, Ryan from Quay Health. So you've done the 3 assessment techniques from the last video and you've found out that you've got some weak glutes. Here are a couple of ways that you can rehab your glutes and get yourself back into good condition. So what I'll do today, I'll go from easiest through to the hardest exercise. Through the exercise, I'm going to be using this band that's for the hips, but you can also get like some cheaper TheraBand and actually tie it in a knot just like this, which will help with the rehab just as well. So the first exercise I'm going to show you don't actually really need the bands for. Basically, you're going to lie onto your side, and it's called a clam because we're basically going to do a clam with our knees. Imagine that you're completely frozen in the torso and completely frozen at the ankle. You're going to roll your hips over. From there, you're going to imagine you're just opening a door with your knees and you're coming back down. A few compensation strategies that you'll see is you might see yourself actually rolling out like this, which is just going to actually make you use the front of your hip and not activate the glutes. Where we're trying to get activation is right in the back of these hips here. So as you're doing it, make sure that you can almost feel if you want to and actually feel that glute's actually working as you open up through the hip. Ideally, we want to get about 3 times about 15 repetitions and then give yourself about 90 seconds rest in between your sets. So the second exercise, you're going to actually have your band just above your knees. This one here, we're going to be going through a squat, but we're going to be using the band to activate our glutes as we do a squat. It's really, really common when doing this squat that people will not actually activate their glutes, in which case you're not actually able to do the squat as well, whether it's not being able to do as much weight or not being able to do as much repetitions. It also might mean that you get a little bit of pain when you're squatting as well. So when we're doing an actual squat with the band, what we want to do is we want to make sure that all the weight's through our heels. So as we go to do our squat, we're not bending our knees forward, we're actually shifting our weight into the back. Imagine there's a chair behind you and you're trying to shift your weight through to the back. Weight should be through the heels and we're basically coming down like so. As we get down into that position, what we want to make sure is we push our knees out. Imagine you've got 2 corkscrews for legs and you're trying to actually push down and you're trying to rotate out with your legs. You shouldn't see your legs actually, your feet actually rotate out as you do it. You'll feel straight away when you're doing that you get a lot of tension through the glutes. Just try and hold it for about 5 seconds and then come up. The goal is, as you do it, is to come down for that 5 seconds. Aim to get about 12 repetitions out and do 3 sets of that exercise. So the last exercise is going to be just like one of the assessment techniques that we did in the last video. It's basically going to be a one-legged bridge. To do the rehab properly, what we're going to do is going to make sure our legs are about a hip width apart. We're going to bring ourselves up, bring in our arms down underneath until we're nice and parallel with our hips to our torso. And then from there, we're just going to try and lift up to one side and come back down. So that'll count as 1 rep. When you do those reps, try and make sure you keep those hips up as high as you can as you do them, just to make sure that you're getting that nice activation. Again, like we talked about in the last video, make sure that you don't tilt either side of the pelvis, that your pelvis stays nice and straight as you lift that leg up and lift the leg down. Goal is for around about 3 by 15 repetitions again, and give yourself about 90 seconds break in between sets. So there's 3 exercises that you can do to rehab your glutes. Next session we'll talk about a few more advanced techniques that you can do to rehab your glutes once you've mastered these 3.